1.
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are here once again following our 7-3 win over Hilliard-Davidson last night. We're back with Coach Alexander. Got some big topics to discuss today. But before we get into the next game, one of the big things we missed on Monday was the rewards. There's a lot of them that happened. One of them being that Keegan Holmstrom won OCC Ohio Player of the Year. So before I ask you about the other award, just tell me about Keegan. I know you already said he's like probably the greatest first baseman you've coached. To give me a little more into him and then just describe his year and your experience with him.
He's a very heady player. I think he has almost 20 walks, hit by pitches, free bases. So he's swinging a clip of 429 right now. He's so good using the whole field. He can do a lot of things really well, especially at his age. I think he's an advanced hitter. He's an advanced fielder, and he's got a 3-pitch mix that has been shutting everybody down for the last 2 years. So he has been really good for us.
For sure. So
he was actually a finalist last year for the OCC Player of the Year as a freshman, and Brock Tibbetts beat him out, who was freshman All Big Ten at Indiana this year.
It's good to see Tibbetts doing well in the Big Ten, and Keegan Holmstrom as of right now also at Ohio State. So I'm sure Holmstrom and Tibbetts can battle it out once they can get into college. So let's go now to the rest of the awards. A lot of the team won awards. Could you kind of describe them to me and like what happened?
Yes. Keegan was first team OCC, first team All District, and OCC Ohio Player of the Year. Dennis Rittlinger-Nyrider was first team OCC, first team All District. Zach Sigmund was first team OCC, honorable mention All District. Jackson Ware was second team OCC, second team All District. Spencer Stoll was second team OCC. Grady Spiegel was second team OCC. Ty Clifton was special mention OCC. Gabe Duncan was honorable mention OCC. Braxton Bryan was honorable mention OCC. And Trent Ruffing was our OCC Scholar Athlete.
And congrats to all of you guys for winning that. And also, kind of describe, how does it feel to see that almost all of your team won these awards?
Well, I think it's, I tell all of our guys every year that when you have this many awards, it's simply because you have a great team, and a lot of the team stuff will take care of itself as far as individual accolades. So a lot of these individual awards were also happened because we tied New Albany for first in the league. So when you're in first place in the league, you're naturally gonna get more guys up there than if you finished, second to last or last in the league. So our guys know that, and there's been years where we didn't finish first in the league, and you don't have near as many guys winning some of these awards.
For sure. So once again, congrats to all you guys for winning those rewards. And Coach A, so let's go on to our next game. This is going to be probably the biggest game of the year by far, the biggest rematch by far, and it is the Lancaster Golden Gales. Lancaster, as you know, and as some of you guys do not want to know, Lancaster defeated Grove City in the district final a season ago, knocking them out of the playoffs. Grove City is back. They have a better team, a little bit younger. We lost a couple guys, but definitely back in the same position as the number 4 overall seed. Of course, Lancaster, the number 3 overall seed. So kind of describe the amputations for this game.
Yes. We know about Lancaster. Lancaster knows about us. We played in their league for, I think it was 5 years with Coach Kahn, so really good friends with him. Love the way that they play the game, love the way that they approach it. So it will be amazing atmosphere, barring good weather, that everyone can come watch this one. So it's going to be a fun one. Last year was an amazing crowd, amazing game. Both fan sections are always follow their teams. So we're expecting a good one. I saw that they beat Upper Arlington yesterday 2-0. So it should be another great battle. And we're expecting that. And I know our guys are focusing in right now because that's what we have to do. If you're going to win a big game like that, we're going to have ultra focus and on all of our P's and Q's and what we're trying to accomplish as a team tomorrow. So
For sure. And again, that is pending weather. Hopefully there shouldn't be any storms in the area. I know one of the sites, surprise, surprise, Angie Orange.
yeah.
And as Coach A kind of got into yesterday, Coach Marker.
Hopefully Coach Marker puts a dome over that thing by tomorrow night so we can play no matter what. But he's created a beautiful field just like ours, turf field. So as long as the weather does hold off, we should be able to play. It's been pretty dry, so the outfield isn't near as wet as it was in the early spring. Hopefully he gives us a nice fresh cut like everyone's getting in our field, 2 inches. And we'll be ready to roll over to Orange tomorrow night.
For sure. And meanwhile, back here at Grove City, there's 2 games being hosted. One of them tonight and one of them tomorrow. One of them is the New Albany and Canal Winchester game. And then tomorrow is the Hilliard Derby game against Olentangy Liberty, in which the winner of that game would play the winner of our game. So kind of describe what Grove City has created in terms of now hosting 2 district finals.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting for us. We have to get out there and get an early practice in tonight, and then we're actually going to finish with a later practice after the game tonight. So it'll be a little bit of both. It'll be fun to watch that game tonight. We scrimmaged Canal, had a great scrimmage with them. We played New Albany 3 times, so it'll be fun to watch those guys compete as well tonight.
For sure, that's going to be a fun game. So let's talk more about Lancaster. Lancaster, good all around. Number 3 overall seed. Great arms, great bats. Kind of describe the team for me.
Yeah, I saw that the O'Rourke kid pitched for him yesterday. It looks like he's having a great season. So I would imagine we see the Bornino kid that we saw last year, and the Cooper Rider kid came in relief last year as well against us. So we saw both of those guys that we anticipate seeing tomorrow. They have a great team. They do everything the right way. They compete just like we try to get our guys to do as well. So we're expecting a good one.
So with a win tomorrow, and this is the first focus is of course tomorrow. With a win tomorrow, Grove City would be back in the regionals for the first time in a couple of years. It's been before the pandemic and all that stuff. Kind of tell us, when was the last time we were in regional finals, just so this audience can know?
I was just talking to one of my old players, Chase Anel, about that an hour ago. That was the last time when he was a junior. We won the district title in 2014. So 14 we won it, 12 we won it, 11 we won it, and we've been district runner-ups a few times as well. We were district runner-ups last year, we were district runner-ups in 2017, and we were district runner-ups in 2013. So we've had a great run of winning them, but we've also lost some of these close ones as well.
And so it just proves that this game is ultimately more important. Definitely would be a great sign if Grove City can pull it off. It'd be the first time in 8 years that Grove City would be heading to regionals, and this year the regionals seem to be in our favor as it is at Dublin Kaufman. So how would it feel to go back up to Kaufman again, like you kind of described Orange? Kind of describe Kaufman's field for us.
Kaufman is a dirt grass field still. Beautiful complex. Love their backdrop. It's one of the coolest with all the trees along the fence line. So that's always a fun one. So I tell all of our guys every year, if you get to play in a district final, if you get to play in a regional, it is an absolute blast. You know, our community really supports us, and they will pack it and they will follow us. And you know, some of our teams that have had those experiences, you know, still talk about it to this day how fun that game was to play in. So I wish that every kid in America got to play in a game like a district final, like a regional semi, regional final. So we got to play at Huntington Park 2 years. You know, that was amazing for our kids. So we're excited.
And the states this year, if Grove City can make it there, is at the home of the Akron Rubber Ducks this year up in Akron. So the theme of these minor league ballparks is just outstanding. And once, like you said, Huntington, absolutely wonderful place to be in. And even up in Akron, the home of the Rubber Ducks, another place where it would just be wonderful to be up there.
Oh, for sure. I always say, like, our number one goal is that district title every year. Our number two goal is an OCC championship. Our number three goal is 20-win season. And everything after that is icing on the cake, because I think it just has to line up perfectly for you in order to pull those off. So we try not to get too fixated on lofty goals and just try to play every game one by one. But, you know, those are things that we try to accomplish as a group every year.
For sure. And with those goals in mind, I mean, Grove City made it to states back in 2012, if I'm correct. And I know they lost in the state semifinals, but it's still probably one of the greatest Grove City teams to ever come through here. And you were definitely a part of it, and definitely one of your best teams yet. But once again, it all ties back to this Lancaster game. Lancaster, the big one, is Lancaster knocked us out a year ago. So with everything that we talked about with regionals meaning this and states meaning this and the glorious ballparks that are around us, how important is this game?
Yeah, it is. It's just one pitch at a time. So if our guys can be focused every single pitch, it's going to be a dogfight. Last year we didn't capitalize on, you know, I still think about numerous times where the ball didn't roll our way, or we just didn't have a good two-strike approach. You know, we had some bad strikeouts in that one. And some things that when you get in these big games, it's easy for it to get away from you when you don't go back and just have the values that you do as a player in every single other game. You know, like, it starts to kind of get too big for some kids at times. So we need to make sure we can minimize that and give them a breath of fresh air, and so they know that they can compete at this level and expect big things out of them.
For sure. And I mean, this game to them is basically like on the football field with the Grove City Central Crossing game, or even on the basketball court with how Central Crossing was this year, and everybody packed the house. This is definitely not the end of the interview yet, but do you have an early message to the fans?
Get up to Orange. Let's pack Orange. Let's make it red and blue all over, and expect a great atmosphere and expect a great competition between us and Lancaster.
For sure. Once again, reflect kind of on the year for Grove City so far. I know Grove City is still playing still and all that, but when we talked at the beginning of the year, we had these big expectations, and look at where Grove City is now. They are right back at where we were a year ago.
Yeah.
So kind of reflect on this season and how Grove City has been.
Yeah, we knew we had a lot coming back from last year and a lot of experience, and we think we've got a lot of talented players. that just work hard. Our guys really value working. So we gave them a schedule with the number one team in the U.S. We gave them a top team in Alabama. 3 great teams in Florida, one of the top teams in Central Florida when we knocked them off. So those were great early tests for us. And, we lost 2 of those 3 top teams, but they were great battles. And it was good for our guys to be able to see that we can compete with some of the best players in America. And I think it just, when you play teams like that, your margin of error is so small. And I think that will help when you play in games like this. That's always our goal.
And for sure. And so when we have these close dogfights with teams like Orchard Lake St. Mary's and George Jenkins down in Florida and even Dothan in Alabama, 3 of the top teams that we played, kind of describe what it does for scheduling in the future.
Yeah. I love playing those guys every year, teams like that. I know Orchard Lake even has contacted us already, wants to play again next year. Said he loves coming down to Columbus. So we would definitely line that up. Next year will be different because our spring break is a week early, so we cannot play games on our spring break. So we're trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do in that process. But we are able to open up on that last Saturday when spring break is going to end. So we will open up somewhere probably out of state on, I believe it's March 25th, 26th, which is the end of our spring break. So we won't have all that spring break to play different teams like we did last year, but we're still going to find somewhere to go so we can get some quality work in and then open up with 2 other games.
For sure. It's definitely going to be fun. And my message to you guys for tonight, come out, support red and blue. I know Olentangy Orange is supplying me well with a press box up there, so expect me to go live on Twitch if you cannot come up there. I know it's one of the final weeks of the year and your exams are coming up for those of you who are students or work or whatever, but this is going to be huge. This is really going to be big. Coach, any last things?
No. Thanks, Fuzz. I greatly appreciate everything you do for us. And we'll see you on the bus tomorrow.
For sure. Let's beat those Golden Gales.
Buddy, you want to get in last second?